Hello, welcome to episode 6 of the One Ring Laughter of Dragons, played by Mostly Off Topic. I am joined by the guys Ben, Joe,
Hello.
Hello.
Matt. And we are in the second half of our third session of Laughter of Dragons. Spoilers for Laughter of Dragons, we are playing the book. We're reasonably tight to the book, not being too loosey goosey yet. But if you're playing through that book, then be aware we will reveal plot content, we will reveal surprises, we will possibly spoil your fun. So just be aware of that fact. So you've stepped into the cool air of the city of Dale, gathered around what you have now learned to be the veteran of the Battle of Five Armors, possibly lost family, friends through the desolation of Smaug, as Donar is led next door where he lives. You have established a pattern of possibly where Longo resides, and into the night of Dale you step. Longo, the dwarf that seems to be behind some form of conspiracy within Dale, associated with orcs of Dol Guldur, has stolen possibly the ring. The needle, not the ring. Stolen the needle from Kelda. To what end you've not yet established. Got real quick. But somewhere in Brokenstone, the oldest place of Dale, the one that suffered the most from Smaug's attack, and has subsequently been repopulated with elements of the dregs of the race of men, sums up everything that you think is possibly wrong with the world, and you decide that Cirque should possibly bear his way forward.
So now what you mean?
So that
Come on, let's go.
you can trail. And as these,
Sorry, Paul, go on.
like I say, as the stars kind of like beat down on what is a cooling night, you start to make the journey forward. So talk. Sorry.
Should we inject some theatre into our performance here, knowing that eyes are likely upon us?
Yeah, I'm going to Broken Stones to have a look at a warehouse with beast noises from it. You make your way to see.
We're off to the market, Cirque. So farewell.
Yes, we'll meet back here
Good
in
luck.
an hour or two. And then I'll light up my pipe and start whistling as I wander through towards Broken Stones.
Okay, so you start to make your movement across. What you two guys
I'd
do?
like to.
So I would like to disappear and follow him shortly afterwards, trying to pick up a trail of undoubtedly someone who will follow him.
I'm watching him go, and watching the shadows around the streets as well.
Okay.
So I guess I'm trying to be aware. I'm trying to surreptitiously have a good look around.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with some stealth rolls from Torg and Levtar, please.
Okay, that's going to be the feet die. 7. 7.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 18.
Okay. Cool.
I just want to sort of drift into the shadows if I can a little bit and trying to hopefully pick up some undesirables.
Okay. Well, you are with Torg, so And let's have awareness rolls from Torg, and let's have awareness rolls from everybody actually.
Okay. 1 dice here. 7.
3.
13.
Okay. So none of you.
We've got party hope, haven't we?
Yeah, fellowship pool refresh.
I could spend.
I will spend a point of my hope.
I'm not going to spend any.
Okay.
I'll spend a point of mine, and then claim one back from the party pool to bump mine to a 19. Yeah, because it's not favoured. 19.
Okay, cool. So you're making your way. You know the general direction of where Brokenstone is, and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, Torg and Luvtar, you guys can't. You don't see any furtive shapes darting around or what have you. Partly because of the slightly more raucous noise of a group of dwarves kind of coming out singing what you all recognise to be an army marching song, and it's the Brothers Kudrim kind of making their way back to the commons from wherever they spent their night. And then we chopped off the head and we put it on a spike, and it was great fun to be had. Everybody hit like. You can tell why I don't play bards. Apart from I do. Torg! Ovtar! I don't see Lothar, actually. He's well hidden. Torg! It's Kudrim.
Good evening. A fine evening for a song such as that.
Head on, lads. I'll not be long.
And how goes your evening so far, Kudrim?
It's going well.
Are you lodging here?
No, we've got our
still
tents.
sleep in the field?
We're just coming in here for a drink. That was all. Are you're at the sheaf?
We've just left to see our new friend Donar back home. He lives just there, next door.
Aye.
But he's a fine dwarf. You should meet him if you get a chance. If you're drinking here, you will, no doubt. He's a veteran.
Aye. I've had a chat with him. Bit too gone though. Now, but we should honour what he did then. Indeed. How goes your business? The business that we spoke of earlier.
Well, it's funny you should mention it, but we're actually we're on our way to what I believe is Longo the Bandit's hideout.
His eyes kind of light up a little. Do you have need of me and my men?
Up until this point, we didn't. But now that you mention it, I think it would be a wise decision, indeed. For they have a stronghold. They have a stronghold in the old part of town.
In the old quarter.
Brokenstone. They have a large building there.
That would make sense.
Do you know it?
Do you know anything more about where it is in Brokenstone? It could be a few places, I guess.
Well, it's big.
Big.
It's a big building. With big doors and pillars and bandits inside.
Well, I mean, there's the barracks down there, I guess. That's a biggish place down by the river.
Sounds like it could be that.
A number of warehouses, the old guest hall.
It's not really a warehouse.
Okay. I mean, the barracks, the guest hall, the old hospital. Those are the biggest places.
Like one of the three. It sounds like one of those 3 places.
Lads! Put him down. Really? You'll. Okay, come on. He calls back his troop. Now, quiet down. We didn't expect too much combat tonight, so we're not fully armoured up. We've only got our light weapons, and kind of like they open the coats, and it's like, you know, it's like that scene in The Matrix. They've just got like short swords and kind of like street fighting daggers rather than anything else.
Standard drinking affair.
I think you have all you need. We've no need for full armor for this.
And are we stealth? Or we do this a proper way?
Well, given my stat sheet, Kudrum, I believe we'll be doing this.
Bubble appears above his head.
The overlay goes, no stealth.
No. Zero stealth.
Okay. Well, I think I know where the barracks are, but I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Okay, right then, lads. So, this is Torg, son of Torek. This is Lothar. Both veterans. Lothar leads his own band at the moment. Fine warrior. Torg, son of one of the chieftains. So give him proper respect. All right. One's earned it through arms. The other's earned it through name. And we're gonna go help them. Then, lads, they're gonna come and help us slay some dragon. Yeah! Everybody's kind of like pumped about that fact.
We also have
from miles away. You hear, "What do you mean about a dragon?"
that was our third member, who we should probably check is okay.
Possibly wise.
So I'll be fine.
You think you're being followed. There aren't very many people around at this night, and either this person is making every turn that you're making on the way to the popular night spot, or they're following you. You
cool.
Kind of like glance quickly back around, and they try to hide themselves and stop and such like.
So is Lothar sort of 50 feet behind Cirque, and then way behind Lothar is Torg and Kudrim? And
I think so, because I think kind of like Lothar started to move off, and because he was an 18 on his stealth roll, so nobody really spotted him. So you're working, but Lothar, you haven't seen the other figure. You've seen Cirque just stop and kind of glance around and such like, but that's all.
Just really unsubtly kind of going, oh, I'm going to look in this window and then I might go down this alleyway.
Okay. So you've got to
as I proceed forwards.
Yeah, you've got to the edge of the old quarter, and you kind of got to get closer down towards where the keys are, and where the keys are, and the wall and the river and such like. That's where the broken stone kind of like starts, and you can see and feel the change in the architecture and the narrowing of the streets. And there are more people kind of like gathered, and they've got like tramp bins burning, or braziers that they've got burning there, and it's primarily male teens or maybe early 20s, and they're all kind of giving you a bit of a look, and you're just on the edge of Brokenstone at the moment, and it's you could tell that you would very quickly, very easily get lost in there, and the buildings are all soot covered, and you can see that a lot of the stone's been deformed from something that must have been incredibly hot, incredibly burned there. There's been none of the regeneration. And there's very little in the way of like litter or anything like that. The whole place really does smell. The water, the canals kind of bypass it rather than kind of going through it. And it would be moving into almost darkness as soon as you kind of start stepping to some of those eaves.
It's all right. I've got tunneling. I'm used to being underground.
Mm-hmm. It is a little bit like being in a tunnel. Yeah.
I feel quite at home. Because I've spent a lot of time like exploring ruins and kind of very kind of destroyed places as part of like my background.
Yeah.
It's he's probably surprisingly okay with it all, and actually it just feels like another exploration that he's done before into a piece of architecture.
Yep,
So he doesn't
okay.
see it. He wouldn't see the thinking sense of like,
So,
oh no, I'm in a rough part of town. It's just like, wow, this is fascinating.
So without a pause, you step across into Broken Stone, and you're starting to move. Is there a particular direction or anything that you're going to try and take?
I presume I'd have been told it was like the big building down by the wharf that we were looking for when we did our discussion. Obviously, I didn't come for that bit. I was upstairs getting dressed. Would you have advised me of that before we set off?
Yeah, but we've got new information from Kudrum that he. So basically, there's quite a few buildings that it could be.
I'd be heading towards the wharf.
Yeah, I think what I would want to do, having sort of looked at the area, I would probably cut my distance to Cirque. Obviously, it's a completely different scenery, so I just want to make sure that I'm much closer now. If you want me to.
Okay, you get a bit of a hustle. Make another awareness roll.
Okay, I should really get that right. That would be good. I'm going to spend this. This feels important because it's as a sort of experienced dwarf, if you like. I'm a bit worried. So I'm going to spend the point of hope and get 15 because I don't want to lose track of my comrade.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you kind of you see him just step into there, and you kind of start to hustle because you're very fearful of losing him in the twisting streets and the narrows and such like. And you see a loping, scraggy human figure possibly has the same problem, kind of like has forced to move across much more quickly. And you kind of catch sight of that, and you recognise the shape and just the kind of hunch of the shoulders, and the cravenness of the figure, from being at the window at Keldus. So you're kind of Cirque, and you've got the figure, and Cirque turns and twists and turns and such like. So you talk, you're moving down with Kudrum.
Yeah, do we still have sight? I'm guessing of Loftar.
So you guys are able to hustle. So you're not trying to be stealthy or do anything. So you're kind of like So just as Loftar kind of tucks off into Broken Stone proper, you kind of catch sight of him. So there's Kudrum and 6 other dwarves.
Yeah. But we're probably making quite a bit of noise as well. I mean, they're in merry spirits.
They are, but they're not wearing armor or anything like that. They're not got. So whilst their own shoes are bang 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 off the stonework, and it's resonating throughout the city and such like, you're not got like plate armor going clang 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 or anything along those lines. And they're also like focused a little bit more now, so they're not singing their songs or anything like that.
They're smart.
Yeah,
they're smart. Yeah.
So Kudrum is a massively experienced veteran. So when shit is going down, it's job time, boys. Is what he'll say.
Game time.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kudrum, which direction lies the barracks?
The barracks is closest to the river. Because it's the quickest way to transport the troops. So that's just in the corner. Loftar's headed more. If he carries that way, I'll be going more towards the middle. We want to be kind of going down more towards the right. Do we want to follow Loftar, or do we want to be head into the barracks?
We have to keep eyes on my friends, I think.
Okay. This is going to be difficult for a group like us. Weapons stowed, boys. Keep them under cover. Don't need to be attracting any attention from any cock-swinging youths.
Okay, maybe we'll try and catch the Loftar up.
Okay,
I think that might be the best course of action.
I'll get the lads just to hang back a little bit.
Okay.
I just sorry. Am I okay to use the group advancement point to recoup my? Okay.
Yeah, fellowship ball. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
How about Torg? I get the boys to head down to the barracks and get them maybe a few streets away, and we'll meet them there.
That's a fair plan. Good idea.
He stops. He kind of whispers, "Oh, oh!" Does like a little hoot an owl. Everybody nods and kind of like off you go. They kind of split.
Owls in the city.
Yeah.
I thought it was Super Mario. Super Mario.
Fascinating.
Oh, that sounds like a long-eared owl that's only found in the eaves of Mirkwood.
Yes, bizarre. Must be lost or imported. Maybe a pet.
So, Cirque, you've kind of almost forgotten a little bit of your mission here.
I'm
kind of
fascinated by the effect that this fire's had on the architecture.
and you can see that there's rubble, and you can you look up a little bit, and it's like something is just torn through the stone, like a sharp blade through the rock or what have you. And you've heard tales of Smaug and songs like the demise of the dragon that all talk about how big and powerful this creature is. But if that is what you assume his claw could have done, and you know that even the hottest furnaces that the dwarves are capable of creating could not melt the stone and give it the clean sheen that it has.
If they cleaned it up, it'd actually be quite beautiful.
Yeah, and there's none of the nothing's been built on this, so there's a decline as you kind of move down, and in fact you can see that there's a gentle incline down towards the river, which would make sense. Your lore tells you because you want the runoff from rains to wash its way through the city into the river anyway, so you need to create an incline through.
So yeah, I'll continue to explore my way through and look for. We kind of like using basically what I've read in the maps, kind of like when I first arrived here, when I was kind of getting the layout of the city, and also just kind of I'm just looking to kind of look for what I'd understand as being kind of like the traditional build of this kind of place from how it used to look like with the old text that were probably there, and then kind of use that to interpret my way through and down to kind of where the kind of wharf would be.
Make a riddle roll.
Oh dear, fuck all on that. What a shame it couldn't be explore.
Okay. Yeah, I think riddle from what you've described is because you're like trying to piece together the things that you know and you've worked out and the knowledge on the maps and such like.
Can I use old law just to auto pass them?
So describe to me how old law would be relevant. So what about old
because
law are
of
you using?
So it's so I'll have used, like I say, the studying of understanding of architecture and the way things were built, and my kind of knowledge of that kind of wider kind of history of how you'd build a settlement like this round a river, where the areas would be and how it would link in, and kind of, while not being able to see the exact minutiae of it, I'd have the logical pattern of flowing of kind of like this would be these kind of buildings. We place this here. This is where it makes sense to place this.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So that's fine. So you auto pass. So you're weaving kind of like in and around. So Lövtar, Cirque is kind of like moving around. Every so often he stops and he looks up. He goes, "It's pretty good." Runs his hand across some of the stonework as he's moving through. Gets a tape measure out, measures up the window lintels and such like. And the figure is stopping, and you hear him cursing, "For fuck's sake, is this dwarf
in the middle of the night?"
Yeah, they've definitely caught us up. I'm in no rush. I'm loving this. It's like, wow, this is all amazing. We could if we learn from this, we could realize, like, we could not dragon proof, but definitely take steps to kind of make us more robust should this happen again in the future.
So what you're doing, Lövtar, you can hear all of this stream of consciousness.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely verbalized.
Yeah, I'm loving this, because if this follower is becoming unsettled, then that's where we want him. I want him to slip up in some way, and I can, ideally I would like to capture him. Probably not possible, but just to keep my distance.
Yeah, so Torg and Kudrim have caught you up.
Oh,
yeah. You feel two things hit you just like in the just below the ribs.
And there goes my cover.
Feels like a yell.
Look, they're just over there. Just keep it down, guys, and just have a look over there. This fellow, he's a funny looking fellow.
You call him funny looking?
Nah, you're absolutely normal. You're a great dwarf. I mean,
Blue.
Remember the game you used to play as a child, Loftar? All dwarves played it. It was called Bounce, Billy Bounce. Come.
Oh, lovely.
Let us rush this fellow. The three of us will rush him.
Yeah.
And tackle him to the ground. It will be like a game of Bounce, Billy Bounce.
Oh, good old days. Yeah, let's have a go.
Let's have some battle rolls then, please.
Lovely. Lovely.
Battle. Okay.
I'm assuming not from me because I'm not involved in this.
No, not from
I'm deep in architectural thought.
What is wrong with me today? I've rolled 4.
Sorry. Oh, that's pretty good. 21.
Okay. Okay. 21 from Lothar. Torg. What did you get, Torg?
I rolled 4. It was
abysmal. 4. Okay, yeah, cool.
A 1, a 1, and a 2. Yeah.
Okay, so
veteran family name.
so as you kind of are getting closer, like go, the figure kind of like clearly alert and aware. 1 in broken stone, 2 kind of like chasing, kind of like turns, so isn't surprised.
Oh, pity.
Okay, so now let's have some. So you attack an enemy. So the enemy has initiative. So let's have some preliminary rolls then. So battle rolls again, please.
Come on, dice. 8.
Target number is 18 because the enemies have initiative.
12, 14.
Need to buy new dice, eh, Ben?
Okay. So for me, it's 20. Great success.
Okay, so you get 2 dice that you can use in this combat.
You can share those dice as well.
Yes, yeah, just for let the record.
Your less experienced colleagues.
Let the record show.
Just reminding.
Okay, so this guy is going first. So stances. Okay, so let's have some stance then.
I'll go forward.
Okay.
Yeah, seems like a fun thing to do.
Forward. Kudrim is going forward as well.
Yeah.
You guys massively outnumber him. What Kudrim does is he kind of like races. Yeah, okay, we'll describe it. Okay, so he's going out first. He's kind of got like a short sword, so maybe a blade about a foot long. As you kind of come racing up, he has a go at you guys, and he will hit you, Luftar, because you were probably up front.
Happy. Yep.
Let me just get him up. Okay, does 5 damage to you.
Okay.
Okay, so Kudrim kind of like goes past, dodges around you guys, and kind of like takes up a position between you guys and Cirque, just in case there are any others or people are going to kind of come attracted by the sound. Make it quick.
So it glances over, sees you've got it handled, carries on measuring a doorway.
Okay, so it's your turn now. So you're all in the same stance. So is it wits that breaks it down?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was the.
So who's got the highest wits?
I've got 4. Is it favoured or just a normal one?
It's regular.
Regular, yeah.
So I'm at -4.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, so you guys can choose who wants to go first. Let's just roll that.
Go on, Loftar.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just have a go. I've got a mattock, so this could get messy.
Mattock.
Mattock. Let's have him with the mattock.
There we go.
Okay.
So are you trying to
Ooh.
like, are you trying to subdue him or anything? Or are you literally just going to beat him to death with blunt instruments?
I really haven't. I should have thought about that because.
Okay, so you're hitting him with a blunt instrument. Go, go, go! Let's have it.
Yeah.
I've got Eye of Sauron, so it's just, I'll probably hit myself.
Oh, cold shot coming your way.
Yeah.
I've got 9, if that makes any difference. I mean, I guess I could actually I could hit him because we're playing. Oh, sorry, open. So what's the target number for him?
6 plus his parry, which is 4, so 10.
I'm on. Oh well, whatever Eye of Sauron does, I'll spend the point of hope.
Back. Okay, you spend a point of hope, and you smack him
So,
for. He isn't an orc.
Ouch! Yeah, it's gonna hurt him anyway. It's just 8 damage, so.
Okay, cool. Fucking dwarves. Okay, talk.
Well, this is for Kelda, mate. That's
We don't want to murder him in the street.
No.
I don't think that's the right thing to do. I'm torn between. So I've got 2 options the way I see it, and the first is to pull punches. There's a rule around kind of attacking with you're holding back basically.
Yeah, seeking to subdue kind of thing.
Yeah, the other is to do a combat task, probably intimidate foe. Might be worth a go. So I think I'm going to try that first. I'm going to try to intimidate him.
Okay.
And the tone of it, the gist of it would be that I'm trying to reason with and scare him into submission by saying that you're outnumbered. We have you outnumbered. You cannot win this battle. Lay down your arms and come with us. And I'm going to roll. I have a 5, a 4, and a 5 on the feet die. I've rolled 14.
Okay. 14.
Yeah.
And it's just
I think it's in
been
the core
smashed
book,
for 8 endurance. And there's 3 of you and 1 of him. Okay.
He does want to go home now, I think. That's...
Like clutching where he's been smacked, he drops his sword. I done nothing wrong.
There you go. You want a job doing, send Loftar in to smash the bandit.
Advantage on intimidation once someone's hit them with a mattock. Yeah.
I ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Why are you following our friend?
Hello.
I'm just doing my job. It's kind of like
Who paid you?
He's got a really scraggy beard and slightly narrow eyes, and now you can see his cheeks are quite shallow, and it's not that it's particularly lanky actually. It's just that it's incredibly skinny. His skin, it's got like scabs and kind of
Oh no! If you've been beating up a tramp,
Yeah, it's like it. Who paid you? Speak now.
Okay. Long ago.
Take us to him. I'm trying to loom over him now. I'm guessing he's maybe.
Give me. In fact, so now we've really moved into an encounter. So let's have insight rolls.
Cool.
And
Okay.
I think this is very much an intimidation style.
Is that everyone? Is Cirque still looking
no,
at
stones?
stones?
So it's not missing. Neither's Kudrim, so it's Lovtar and
okay. All right.
you guys.
I don't have anything on insights. You don't want me involved in this anyway.
And I think we're probably going to be looking at that kind of space, given where.
Yeah,
we're at the
that's.
moment.
I've got 7.
Okay.
Well, insight. I've rolled 12.
Okay.
But
Okay, so
I think awe is a good idea. Yeah.
So you're looming over him. So let's have an awe roll. Please talk.
So just the feet die.
Okay.
Okay.
2.
Well, there we go. I've got it better this time. It's a Gandalf.
Oh, okay. So Lovtar kind of
So,
comes across. What are you doing then, Lovtar? How are you gonna try to extract information from him?
So I'm putting my sort of dwarven. No, I wouldn't say like human feelings or emotions aside. I can't really say that as a dwarf, but I want to see past his sort of difficult situation. Let's say I said, look, we mean business. We got no quarrel with you, but if you don't tell us what we want, this will go further. So I suggest you talk now or take us to whoever paid you immediately.
You can.
In a sort of cold, sort of just language. I don't want to be shouty. I just want to say, look, you're going to get hurt if you don't do what we say.
It could just be the matter-of-fact way that you say that communicates your murderous intent. Also, the whacking great magic that you weren't afraid to hit him with before, and the way in which you slowly dispatched the orcs. You could see. It's like his face is. Look, you promised to let me go. You promised to let me go. It's got power, Longo. He'll be able to get me. If you don't deal with him, he'll be able to get me. Jeez,
look,
you're gonna deal with him, aren't you?
Of course we will.
You're gonna deal with him.
And if you help us, if you really help us to stop him, we'll make sure we get a couple of coins for you to leave town.
It's in the barracks. It's in the barracks.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh dear.
It was either the barracks, the hospital, the post office.
Professor Plum
the pub,
with the spanner.
Anyway.
You've got to do it now. You've got to do it.
What?
It's got power. You don't understand the power he's got.
Well,
what power? Where does he get this power from?
I don't know, but I've done some bad things. Oh, I've done some really bad things.
So in a sort of a typical Judas fashion, I'm dropping some coins on the floor.
30 pieces of silver for all of that.
You have that and do what you want with it. Let us get on.
You said you could help me. You said you were going to help me.
No, we will help you. Yeah, we'll dispatch him.
You're going to bring Brokenstone down on your head if you're not quiet. You're leaving me in Brokenstone.
What?
So Kudrin said, be quiet. You'll bring Brokenstone down on your head unless you're quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he look like he's going to bleed out, by the way?
No.
He's all right.
Yeah, it's a mattock, so actually it doesn't really cut him. I mean, internal bleeding you can't see, so.
Yep.
It's got a huge cleft out of his forehead, but that's
Let's,
fine.
should we call Cirque and then just hot-foot it to the barracks?
Yeah, we need to get going, I think. Yeah.
Let's do
Good
it.
idea.
Let's
Hey,
do it.
Cirque.
Ready?
Yes?
Cirque. Action.
I'm not your dog. Don't whistle me.
Yeah, well, we can come and look at the pretty stones later. Come on. We can...
Why? Where are we off?
Take the bandits down. To the
Where are they? Oh, judging by my estimations, that'll be over there.
Yeah,
The barracks.
it is.
Okay.
This way. And I run off towards the barracks ahead of you.
I guess we'll run after Cirque.
Okay, Kudrum gives
Let's-
a "True," and it's kind of like men kind of come around.
What's that owl again?
So the barracks is suffered quite a bit of damage, really. This what was a 2-story building. You reckon, from your knowledge of it, this is probably going to the 2 double doors are going to open out into a big kind of compound area. You would imagine training, drills, and such like. You would imagine there's a mess hall in there, and you can see that there's buildings that are kind of around the edge, but there's no buildings rising. I've just lost Joe. All right, there's no buildings rising on the north and east edges. You listen, but you can't make anything out particularly. The doors look as if they're barred. The windows that you can see from where you are all look barred with wooden slats on the outside.
Let me have a look if I can find a quiet entry point, perhaps, with my skills.
Okay, what skills are you using?
I just want to search if there's perhaps a secret entrance or maybe a little stone that you have to press. Let's have a look.
Cirque, you have some tunneling as well.
Yes, I was thinking, well, if he finds another entrance, I can do something to stop the main one opening.
Search. Yeah. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll spend the point of hope because I want to find the entrance into this place.
Take the last fellowship focus, fellowship point as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that useful, yeah. And I don't know if it's appropriate, but I'll try to use sort of. I don't know if you accept determined being used here, because I just sort of desperately want to get a quiet access to give us at least a little bit of an advantage against obviously opponents. If we storm in, there's an even fight. If I really work hard and find a quiet entrance, hopefully we can surprise them.
I don't think determined really comes into it, if I'm honest. Determination to find something doesn't equate to finding it, as evidenced by me being determined to find my car keys the 20 times I've lost them in the last day or two.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Worth a shot, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, keep trying to apply traits. So what do you get on your search roll?
Yeah, sorry. So, 16. Yeah.
16. Okay. So, Lofter, you've been around barracks all of your life, so you know that there's not going to be a secret stone that you press and the whole thing opens out. That would be a fuck up on the part of the builders of the stuff. However, you also know that it's quite usual that you need to be able to have an additional entrance in. And also, like just a cargo entrance and places like where you could take prisoners in and out of. So you're looking for somewhere like that. So
Exactly.
you kind of circuit around the very narrow street and around the back of it, where it kind of heads across almost to the river. And your eye is caught that there's a grate which looks really strong. But it opens out and you can see what looks to be a small stream or tunnel kind of underneath the grate, and the grate is maybe half a foot wide by a couple of feet long. But if there's a tunnel entrance there, which it looks like there must be an entrance to it, and it looks as if it circles down towards the river.
Okay. Well, I think it looks like we've got a possible entrance point. We need to get into it through this.
In that case, I'm gonna head towards the main gate.
Well, hold on, sir. Kudrum says, how about we force them to fight on two fronts?
Risky, but I like it.
Me and the
Fair
lads
enough.
in through the front. You boys through this tunnel or what have you.
Sure, I'm never gonna get to use my spells, but fine.
We'll
I will.
we'll force them to split their forces. So how about I give you the moon. Now I'll give you until the moon gets across there, so that it's kind of square with the hospital tower.
Okay. So you say we give us time for us to quietly sort things out.
Yeah, and then we're going to
And
attack the front. We're going to
Yeah,
make
I
a
think that's
ton of noise.
yeah.
That'll get their attention on us. You guys can get in through the back.
That was like a good old days.
Is the back gonna be stealthy?
Well,
Initially.
we're making a fuck ton of noise. So I think you can be as stealthy. I don't think you need to be as stealthy
I'm
as
not
you want.
particularly designed for stealth.
I'm not. No.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. That's why we're coming out the front gate, isn't it?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, how about when you barge in with your dwarves, Gudrun, you make your owl noise to let us know that we should do the same, only at the back.
How about I give a proper battle cry, and that way then
I like that.
you'll know it's a bunch of angry fucking dwarves wanting to meet another bunch of angry fucking dwarves.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully
we'll
they'll shit their
await
pants.
We'll await your cry of Khazad.
Khazad, boys, Khazad. And he kind of like holds out his arm.
Yeah.
Cirque.
Let's connect, lad. That's it.
I awkwardly, when someone just gets the complete wrong kind of hand motion.
Well,
and
like,
someone goes to shake and someone else goes to fist, but we'll high five and kind of.
You mean like Jeremy
I just-
Corbyn chest bumped this lady the other day?
Okay.
What?
No.
Let's not politicize the
Politics,
stream. Okay,
Sorry.
so you head back around to the river. You guys, and the time that Kudrin was giving you is probably about half an hour, you think, to do that. And you head back down to the river, and there is indeed the exit of a tunnel, kind of by one of the riverside where one of the keys is, but it is there's a locked iron gate. Push
Ooh.
against it. Looks as if it's
I
barred from
would
the
like
inside.
to. I would like to try to wangle my dagger into some of the nooks and crannies there, and craft it apart.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Has it got half barrel hinges?
And I can invoke Smithcraft to make
Yeah,
that
okay.
roll a little bit
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
Should I do that? So I can either invoke Smithcraft to do that, or I can keep Smithcraft back to get an advancement point. Yeah. So I'll do that. I'll not invoke it yet.
Okay.
So I have 3 dice in craft and the feat die. 14.
It's not quite enough. I don't think.
I will spend a point of hope.
Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of like getting around, not quite catching. Then you kind of like, and the bar comes out, and the gate swings.
Okay. Nice.
Made a
And
bit of
that's
noise. Doing that.
Okay. Well, we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah. Looks that way.
Start pushing the gate open.
Okay. You can go 2 abreast in the tunnel.
Ladies first.
Okay.
Where did you learn these
Age before beauty.
The tunnel is wet. There's a small
Meat shield first.
there's a small stream
Onwards first.
running through it, but it's ample enough, and it's pretty straight. It's not the best tunnel that you've ever seen in your life, but it's serviceable and functional. And the tunnel ends, and there's a trapdoor. You can see the faint outline. There's no great light source or anything coming through from the other side, so it looks as if wherever it opens out into is probably dark.
Well, let's quietly just sort of get in.
So who's going to go first?
I don't mind. I can go first.
Tall Grace descend as well.
Open up into room of 20. Sorry?
Oh, between me and you, I'll let Loftar go first.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Loftar, you kind of open out. You quickly glance around, and you can see the bottom of wooden barrels, a shelf, another shelf behind that, bit dusty, bit murky, motes of dust kind of dangling, floating down where you disturbed them from when you opened the trapdoor. Make an awareness roll.
I don't like that. I really don't like that. Oh, wow.
I can tell when you're just rolling the feet dice. It's that one sound that one bang on the table. It's not.
But it's tough. Yeah, that's it. But it's a tough decision. I think it's an important part of the game. I'm going to spend a second point of my hope. I get 17.
Okay. You don't hear anything or any movement or anything along those lines, but you catch the faint tang of that distinctive smell that you called out in the last session of orc. There's at least one orc here, or there's been an orc here. It's not overpowering anything, it's just a scent that carries itself.
As quietly as possible, I'll try to open it and get into the room and try to find a quiet spot to assess the situation.
Is it better to do it really quick, or is it better to do it slow but make the noise longer?
in a quick, yeah. Well, I don't have my WD-40 to fix that, so let's just yank it.
Yeah, okay. And you kind of step up into the room. You're in an old storeroom. It's quite a small chamber. There's a single entrance and exit off in the top corner. It looks like it's cracked wooden barrels. In fact, over in the corner, there's a shelf leaning against the wall where it's been tipped over, and it's got wine jugs, mostly broken. The ones that are intact are empty, and it's all covered in dust and grime.
So I wait for my companions and just make them aware, if they can't smell it themselves, that orc is or was here.
Oh, I thought you farted.
Well, it's just that stew that we had earlier, wasn't it?
There is definitely a strange smell in the air. But maybe you mouth the word orc or uruk, whatever.
Yeah.
What was that? Orc?
Orc. Uruk. Okay. So does the room look like there's any useful stuff here, as in regularly used? So
no, it doesn't. It looks pretty much abandoned.
Okay. So if you guys are not up there yet, I just sort of signal it so they can come up and we can reconvene.
Okay, you come up into that. Okay. So in that room, there's the one entrance.
Is there a door out?
Yeah,
Right.
it's
yeah.
it's an archway rather than a door.
Okay. Well, let's just progress.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, who's going to go first?
Happy to take the mantle of the meat shield for the day.
Okay. And are you stealthing through? Are you kind of like striding
Um,
purposefully?
Yeah, just you know what? Let's take this opportunity that the cauldron has given us. Let me just have a quickly look through myself
Okay.
first.
So stealth roll.
So I'm going to I'm going to try and go into that. Oh no, 13. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you kind of go as quietly as you can, and you glance up to the archway, and this is a much longer room that this opens out into. There's a big dining table with stools rather than chairs around it, some food festooned on it, a set of cots that head off up into the top area, a couple of oil lamps by the cots, and an oil lamp on the table. There's three human figures. Look as if they're playing dice, rolling dice. Don't appear to be kind of bothered by you. They've got little cups of ale that they're drinking, and one of them's kind of pulling from a bread loaf. And intently kind of watching the dice. One of them goes, "You've got shit rolls tonight, haven't you? Yeah, okay, I need a bigger dice pool. I can't wait till I level up."
Yeah.
Then you all hear a coming from the front of the complex.
I just signal my comrades.
Kazad!
There's our cue, boys. Mattock's at the ready.
One of the guys, the two of the figures, look up. One of them rolls. Yes, double, and they all go. They're all like going to go. Guys, the double. I got a fucking double. Come on, you come back. We'll pick up from here. And, like grabs his sword and starts to kind of like move out.
Do they have the green handkerchiefs, Paul?
They do, yes.
Okay. We're in the right place.
Oh shit! Sorry, lads. I didn't realise we were red handkerchiefs.
Wrong hideout. It's the wrong bandit hideout. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is bongo.
Nice. Let's run.
Should we? Let's just get straight in there. Let's run after.
That's it. Let's start dancing. That's it.
Okay, cool. Right, so let's have this then. So you do have an opportunity to ambush them, I guess, because they're racing kind of like forward. You kind of like get up, you race into the room. They have gone out into, you can see quickly, out into a courtyard. There are a number of other bandits that are lounging outside in the cool of the evening. They're kind of, the doors have just splintered open, and you can see Kudrin with a "Here's Johnny" look on his face. They're getting bows, and they're preparing to let loose the dogs of war / a volley. You can see that courtyard out in the front of you. Looks as if there's a couple of tilts and a couple of arrow targets, but they're about to shoot at the dwarves. The three that you have seen are a little bit behind the party. They're just at the door. And they're like scrabbling around to kind of get their quivers set up. So what do you wanna do, guys?
I think we need to rush the bowmen. We don't want to lose dwarves to.
Do we see the Hobbit?
No.
Yeah, I agree, Tog. Let's get the archers.
Okay, so I think let's. So those of you that want to race forward, let's have an athletics roll to see if you're able to kind of like beat them getting themselves set up. Let's say it's target number 12 because they are a bit flustered in a panic. One of them's going, "I got a fucking crit."
I rolled 11, so I will be spending a point of hope.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I will. I also, because I'm chasing that point and I want to get stuff done. I'll spend a point of hope here. That will give me 18 great success, and Yeah, I just want the reason why I wanted to spend the point of hope is to get me over the line. I want to say that I'm using hardened. If I can, another attempt to use my trade. I've seen this kind of stuff before. It's like my second nature. I know I have to jump there, even though I perhaps haven't. But that
Yeah,
point
okay,
of hope
that makes sense. And I think being determined in this circumstance would make a difference.
I think it's fair to assume that Lothar would be hardened in this moment.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He's tripped over it as well.
I want to have double arches and lemonade. That's what I want.
So you have ambushed. You've ambushed those guys. So that means that you are attacking. So you ambush the enemy, and essentially all pass the surprise test. Yeah, okay. Because with a great success, you can help somebody else, and so on and so forth. So you act.
Oh, I would have been running forward
first. Okay, cool. So you're out first. So let's have battle rolls, preparatory rolls. Target number 14.
Let's do it right.
Okay,
shit.
14.
5.
If you need an Eye of Sauron, I hand it to you on a silver platter at this point.
Okay, so what do we get, guys?
I got 14.
Okay, cool. So you got 1 dice.
One die. Yeah.
Everybody else
I've got 16 great success and an Eye of Sauron. You're welcome, archers.
Oh, okay. 16 great success. Eye of Sauron. So you get 2 dice.
Cool. So the previous dice have been returned back to the...
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so that's what you get now.
Yep.
Okay, so
Okay.
you get them before they're able to release a volley, as your dwarven companions are racing across. The other bandits are racing out there, and as you're up there now, you can see that there is the entrance to the other side. So if you imagine you've got an L of buildings, you've come in the bottom corner of the L, have gone up that leg, you've gone out into the courtyard which is formed by the L, and there's another entrance to that leg of the L just beside you around the corner. And you're thick in these bandits. So could we have could we choose stances, please?
Forward, please.
I'm going to go forward. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I won't be anything yet, will I? Because I didn't run to catch up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so I'm not in combat yet.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll wait. I'll miss this round, basically.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So you're acting first, gents?
So just to recap, how many archers are we talking about?
So you've got 3. The 3 that were kind of like in the room. There are some other bandits that are a little bit further out into the main courtyard.
Okay.
So quick count, you reckon there's possibly even 12 bandits here?
Oh, okay.
And the dwarves are charging across, giving it the old Khazad. Your bowmen are kind of like not quite got the bows up yet to release a volley. The other bandits there's a couple of bowmen, but they're mostly swords, ready to brace for the charge.
Okay.
So are we just engaged with 3?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And then I'm guessing we have some kind of advantage because they're aiming not at us, and in fact.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is they don't really know you're there, so you're going to thwack them. I'm going to rule that they'll miss their go because they're like, what the hell? And
Yeah,
they've got bows, so they're not really.
All right. Well, I'll just swing up one.
Yeah.
And
okay.
let's see what happens.
We're going to do trample, like Magic the Gathering. We're going to do trample over them.
It carries over. Yeah.
So TN 9.
Okay, 16.
Smacks it.
16 will do it. The Matic is grievous, so it's going to do 10 damage.
It goes down.
That's a good mattock.
You smash it. Describe how you take this guy out.
Okay, so I've got I'm just laser focused on Kudrim and his dwarves, and thinking that we cannot fail them at this point. I'm involuntarily screaming Kazad, and swipe the mattock down just across the back.
Cool, very nice. And Lifter?
Yeah, in a similar fashion, just with haste, wanting to help other comrades. Let's just dispatch these clowns. 17.
Yep, okay.
And that's 8 damage.
Okay, goes down.
To one of them.
Goes down. Fuck!
Down.
I still got a fucking crit. Fuck! The other figure says, and basically kind of like backs away. Yeah, he moves over to join his mates.
Okay. So he's joined another group of bandits.
Yeah, that's right. So you bang. He kind of like spins around. He's like, "What the actual fuck is what you see in mouth?" And at that moment, the dwarves smack into the bandits, and kind of the dwarves are much more structured in their fighting and such like. And you eye across there, and you think actually this is a one-sided fight really. And the dwarves are very quickly going to get on top of that. Kudrum's already felled, one of the opponents. None of the dwarves appear to have taken substantive damage, and certainly now that the archers have just kind of like essentially fled that way. And you've got this entrance to the right hand side. You can't see Clovis amongst that group at all.
It's probably worth us continuing the battle.
Yeah, just to teach him a lesson.
Okay.
I'm going to stick my head in the entrance to the right hand side.
Okay. So you two guys are going to race off into, so Torg and Levta, you're going to race off to join the main battle.
Yeah.
And Cirque, you peer around the side.
Oh, actually, so the remaining archer has joined the main group
Yes.
of bandits.
Yeah, it's
so
flagged
there's only
that way.
that one group.
Yeah,
disengaged.
disengaged.
And Kudrim and his band have clearly got a handle on that.
Yeah, so they're slightly outnumbered, but Kudrum has like taken one of the bandits out incredibly quickly, and it looks like another bandit's down in the first attack. And the nature of the dwarven fighting band, they look. You could tell that this is basically professionals versus enthusiastic amateurs.
They move quickly. Okay. Why don't we all? So, given that we know Longo has some kind of power, I think it might be wise that we all have a look for the Hobbit. Because if he is here, we'll send one of us in.
I was just sticking my head in the open doorway to make sure we weren't getting ambushed.
Yeah. I was thinking
you do that then.
So the open doorway opens out into a small room, and then there's another door just within the room. So it's a smallish room, like an antechamber or something, and then there's another door, which looks pretty strong, actually.
I'm just sorry, Paul. Just by the way, I'm just bloodlust, and I just want to make sure I dispatch all these men. So I'm helping.
Okay, so you're off in the main combat. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'll go take a look at this hefty door.
Okay, cool. What are you doing, Torg? Circus now gone in Levtar's.
Yeah, I've got one eye on Cirque, so I'm gonna break away from the combat and start to move towards where Cirque is.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Okay, so I'm gonna deal with Levtar tar first. So you race it in, same battle. So what stance are you choosing?
I'll keep going forward. Yeah, just for now at least.
Okay. So make the roll.
How many opponents have?
So there are
Have we
10
got?
bandits. There are 7 dwarves, including Kudrim and yourself. So it
Okay.
is 8 versus 10 at the moment. So you've got this is what's known
Okay.
as a target-rich environment.
Okay. I'll take one of my additional dice and use it and throw it in for good measure, just to make sure I'm dispatching who I'm supposed to be dispatching. 20.
Yep. The figure goes down beneath your matic. Kudrim's men adjust for the presence of another combatant fairly well. Kind of like making sure that you've got a sword brother, a matic brother, got your back and such like. Kudrim whilst Kudrim's fighting himself, he's also doing a bit of rallying and control of the of the men around. One of the men takes a wicked kind of cut to the arm, and Kudrim moves himself across to kind of protect so that dwarf can kind of move back. So you heads across to the door. The door is well locked.
Which way does it open? From our side or from the other
It'll
side?
open inwards.
Well, there's not a lot I can do about that. I'll have a look around the room, see if there's any obvious kind of
Don't your
key or
spells allow you
anything.
to open it?
Yeah.
Only if I've locked it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it should
it's-
show that.
Well, what it says is fragments must be recited in front of a gate or door to magically lock it, or recite it backwards to open it if locked.
Yeah, if locked. So not.
I just assumed that was like
So I read it as
recited
if
to
it
lock
was
it and
locked.
then thing it.
I read it as.
Like, can I use it to open it then?
Let me just read it again.
Is
okay,
it-
so what's it called? It's
Spell of opening and shutting. This fragment must be recited in front of a door or gate to magically lock it, or recite it backwards to open it if locked. The spell has no effect on a door that has been blocked by magic and now requires a particular word to open it, but it might work on an entrance that is barred by the same type of magic as this. The spell starts working as soon as you finish reciting it.
yeah, okay. So when I read this, I thought that it would allow you to open locked doors. This fragment must be recited in front of a door.
See, I thought that was just a bit sort of
magically
powerful,
lock it,
but
or recite backwards to open it if locked.
yeah, I assumed I could seal it, and because when you read the other ones, they're not uber powerful, and the ability to open any locked thing seems really quite powerful.
Is it intentionally open to interpretation? And can
Yeah, I mean, we get.
Don't
to
get me
choose,
wrong.
don't
If I've got
we?
the ability to open all locked doors, I'm quite happy.
And can you just bump up the target number?
There's no target. It's just it works.
Right.
I don't have to roll for it. I just recite the words.
Yeah, so okay, so this
Maybe-
is how I'm ruling it.
maybe
You can
not.
open locked doors. I don't think that there's masses of difficulty in this, to be honest.
Okay.
This is one of the reasons.
You can always.
Conjo, sorry.
You could always. You could always. This is an area that I started to think about quite late on in running the game, but there's always a price to pay. You can always make someone pay a price, whether that's a point of hope, or they take a shadow point, or they become weary, or whatever it is.
Yeah. So if you were to start to use this to break into the vault and steal all the cash for your own means, then you're going to be accruing shadow because the intent of the act is corruption, is a corrupted intent. So I think this. So I think that you can do this. I'm quite happy with it. I don't think it's too powerful. To be perfectly honest.
Okay. In that case, then I will have, seeing it locked, kind of like surreptitiously look around to make sure I wasn't being particularly well observed.
Yeah.
And whisper down by the door.
Yeah, okay.
To
So you
unlock
start
it.
to recite, those runic magic. Because the important thing for me when I read this sentence, this one must be recited in front of a door or gate. So you've got a door or gate in front of you, so you can recite it, and then you magically lock it. Okay, and it would say, I would expect the language to say, and then you're able to recite it backwards to unlock the door that you magically locked. But it doesn't make any difference in language between you locking it magically or just unlocking it magically. So I'm quite comfortable with that.
Cool.
In fact, I think that's designed.
I'm happy for that to be. I'm more than happy for that to be the way
Okay, so
it
the
works.
door clicks open. So, Torg, you see Cirque, and this is a clearly locked door. And Cirque kind of like leans almost and whispers sweet nothings into the lock, and then kind of it opens. And you'll have heard of these spells of dwarven kind before.
Yeah, and Cirque, why did you make me blunt my dagger on the gate outside the tunnel when you could have just magicked it open?
I don't know what you're talking about. This one's clearly open.
I don't know what you're talking about either, says Longo as he steps away from the window he's just taken a wooden board from. Turns to you two.
Is it thingy?
Is it Clovis?
It is Clovis, and pulls his cloak back to reveal a black scabbard of the finest make, clearly fit only for those of honest and perhaps a kingly demeanour to wear. Why have you come to me with such an aggressive disposition? If you tell me what it is that you want from me, I'm sure we could come to an agreement.
I don't say anything. I just draw my own. So I move my cloak aside and pull out my well-crafted sword from behind my back, where it sits.
I
think the time for talk's over.
I'm a reasonable hobbit. I'm sure there's been some kind of mistaken situation here. I'm very certain that as reasonable individuals, we will be able to resolve this. Can I
tried to kill us.
Corruption tests, please.
Ooh.
Wisdom test.
What's that?
It's essentially a wisdom test where you can use heart if you want to swim.
So what do we just roll?
What's the target number?
20.
And how do we roll this? I haven't done one of these in ages.
Yeah, fail.
Do we get, how many dice do we get?
You get wisdom plus the feat die.
Oh, so I get to roll the feat die and then add my wisdom to it.
Yes.
No. So your wisdom score is the number of dice you get.
Oh right. Oh cool. So I get 3 dice.
Always have the feat die.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just take a pause. So as he's saying these words, and your eyes are drawn towards this black scabbard, which you could only be possessed by somebody of a senior, a royal, or a kingly demeanour, and you kind of look at Clovis. This is no longer this small little hobbit with furtive and nefarious plans. He must be drawn from the lines of the powerful and the wise, and it must be something. So it must be some mistake here that has occurred, because Torg, you're talking to an equal, at least, perhaps actually maybe somebody who's slightly more superior and senior to you, and to be commanded by the presence.
Gandalf, great success.
Gandalf, great success. You don't buy any of this bullshit. There's no way on earth. It's just
the thing is, it suits character because he's impressed by people's knowledge and skills, not their bearing or where they were born or anything like that. So it's just, shut up! You did enough talking.
So Torg, you're starting to fall a little bit under this spell, a touch. So
he sent you to be killed.
you want to at least listen to what Clovis has to say. This is the way in which reasonable men conduct their business. As a leader, you've got to take a studious view and not just go into your impulses.
Perhaps we should listen to Clovis before we rush.
You want to listen?
He must have been led astray by these evil men.
Oh, I'm sure. And when he sent us to be killed by orcs, so I'm walking forward as I'm saying this. I'm not.
Loftar, the last of the bandits, has been downed. They didn't even have a chance to surrender as Kudrum's men kind of like ripped through them.
Good work, guys.
Where are the rest? Where are the others?
Oh, they must have stepped away. Probably. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's a door there.
Okay, you start to make your way there. So back to Cirque and Torg.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stepping forward. I've got no interest in what this guy's got to say.
Okay. What are you doing? It looks like Cirque is definitely gonna engage. Longo. Definitely gonna engage Longo, in fact.
So I think he disengaged.
Yeah, it looks
For a
like it's
moment
just
there.
Nobody. Oh, come here.
Okay,
Okay.
Torg. Yeah, we can hear you, Ben.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah. So how under Longo's spell is Torg?
So you're pretty much so essentially you're charmed by him, and you wouldn't want him to come to harm. So whilst you're not best mates drinking buddies,
Okay.
you're
All
kind
right.
of like, look, it may be actually, let's take a pace back, everybody. Let's review the situation. Longo is, like you said, is probably been led astray.
Yeah. Okay. That's
So,
fine. That's plenty.
and
Cool.
your shadow weakness, your lure of power and that sense of arrogance would be starting to be pulled and manipulated.
Okay. Yeah. So Torg is kind of is motioning towards Cirque. Cirque, let's not be hasty here.
You're siding with a dwarf, a hobbit against a fellow dwarf.
Let me finish my my sentence. So Clovis or Longo or Clovis, he's clearly someone we should listen to, and has perhaps been misunderstood.
You do remember he
hear
told
him
you
out
that.
before we...
Yeah, Tug. So you do remember who told you that he was captured by bandits before?
Okay, yeah. So, and my mistrust of men is kind of resurging here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm coming at it from.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
In which case, I turn to you.
Gone.
I turn to you and say, "Your father wouldn't act like this," and then I will turn back to try and disarm. I'm going to attempt to disarm him. I'm not having him stood there with a sword.
So Loftar, you can hear some bickering as you kind of like go through. The smell of orc is much stronger coming through from this room.
Hey guys, I smell orc.
This is what Loftar says as he kind
let's
of
have
gets
a
in
look.
there. Clovis, Cirque, and Torg having a bit of a to do. Clovis is backing towards the window whilst Cirque and Loftar are distracted. Cirque is just turning around with his sword as Clovis is doing that. You see an orc coming out of a small cubby hole in the top end of the room across from where they are.
Let's get that orc.
Torg, you are stung by the comment, I guess, about your father, and then you kind of
I'm trying to break him out of it.
Yeah, you see the orc kind of coming out of the shadows with one of its wicked scythe style of blades, and you catch Longo's eyes glance across at the orc, and there's just a faint nod as he's kind of like trying to pull it back. So let's have another corruption test for Torg as he sees the betrayal from Longo clearly in his eyes.
So that's 2 dice.
Target number 14. And I think you might have a trait that could come to bear in this as well.
I guess willful.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I can invoke to pass. Let me think. So is it heart that you invoke?
Yes.
If you spend hope.
Yes.
Because we've got 2 dice here. Target number 14. I think there's no point in me holding the trait back to get an advancement point because I can't. So I'm going to invoke willful to kind of focus on that. He's got old hatred, you know. He sees the orc. Something snaps within him, and for a moment the illusion flutters away like like old Kelder's embroidery, flapping in the wind.
Even if Longo has been misled, he is aligned with orcs. Okay, so what's everybody aiming to do then? So, Cirque, you're aiming to disarm Longo.
Yep.
Lothar, your action is to...
I want to kill the orc.
Torg, your action is to...
I'm refocusing now on Clovis Longo, and he's the betrayer. He's the bad one here.
Okay.
Told you.
So let us have... let's think this through. So I think the best thing to do is for us to choose stances, because essentially you're carrying the battle forward. So let's choose stances. So Cirque, you're going to choose forward stance. Torg.
Forward.
Okay. Lothar.
Forward, please.
Okay, cool. Kudrum is just behind you, but can't quite get through the traffic of the door at the moment. So let's have some wits. What who's got the highest wits between? So I
You're a 6.
You're a 6. Okay, so Circuit's going to act first.
Is there a disarming?
There is, yes.
Apologies.
It's an action in combat, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's actually.
It is, yeah. Yeah. Is it? It's not weapon specific, is it?
There is that axe, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the bearded axe. That was like a shield breaker thing, wasn't it?
Cold shots.
Yeah, in
test and combat.
in forward stance, there are 3. There are 3 tasks, aren't there? In
intimidate
stance.
foe.
Yeah, challenge adversary, 2 weapon attack.
Okay. Right. So let's. Okay. So I think let's say that you're going to try to.
So if he's got a, what's the call?
Yeah, there is. Oh, you can't disarm. Boom.
There is a way of doing it, but it's not a task, is it?
Yeah, maybe it's a cold shot. Is it a cold shot?
Well, that's what I'm looking at now. 178.
Yeah, well, if you have to have a sword, and if you have a cold shot with a sword,
Yeah,
the
target
target
drops
drops
weapon.
his
Thank
weapon.
you very much, Matt. So yes, you've got a sword, haven't you? So you have to use a
I do.
cold shot.
So you have to get a cold shot. Yeah. Ben, if you want, I have a. I don't know if you want to really do this. I'm happy to give you one of my die.
Yes, please.
So you have a one
So
extra
you
die.
need to get you need to hit his target number and
I have to get
a
Gandalf,
10
don't
bar.
Let's have a look. Remember how well these went for me before?
Yeah.
I got 10 while, but it might be tight on the thingy.
It's 10.
So that's 6. 7. 13.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So yes.
So you can.
Thanks to Matt's extra dice.
Nice. Thank you very much. Good work. So describe to me how you disarm him.
So I've got the sort of sword out. If he's reaching for his thing, what I want to do is basically move the sword so it kind of grazes across his knuckles. So he kind of pulls his hand back and slashes at his sword belt at the same sort of time. So it kind of he's not going to thingy, but then the sword belt will drop to the floor with the weapon on it, and then I can hold the point of the blade near him.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that happens. Talk.
So I'm focused on Longo.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to swing at him with my mattock.
Yeah.
Charging forward.
Just disarmed him.
It doesn't.
And now you're going to de-head him.
I feel like I need to hit him. He just needs one.
I've disarmed him. You de-head him. It's fine.
He just needs a little slap with a mattock.
He needs to take some punishment, right?
Yeah.
A bit of dwarven love.
2 6s on the success dice.
Ouch.
And a 1 on the feet. So that's 13. I'm guessing that's enough, though, actually.
Yeah.
That's an extraordinary success. So that's like damage.
It's your damage.
So how much did you do?
Okay, so it's grievous. So 10 base, and then my damage is
twice
6. So we're talking 22.
Yeah. We'll have to scrape him off the walls, I think.
Whoops upside your head.
So, can you describe to me how your Matic crushes him down?
Talk's very angry. So he's gone from holding Cirque by the scruff of the neck and spotting the orc emerging from the cubbyhole at the side of the corner of the room. He lets go of Cirque, takes his mattock from his belt, and charges forward to Longo. He hears himself scream the word "betrayer," and he swings wildly, not knowing where he's aiming, but in the aftermath, devastated to see that he's embedded his mattock in the hobbit's head.
Cirque's just there, so he had his blade at Longo's neck after having disarmed him, thinking this, all right, we've captured him, we can interrogate him now, and then this mattock just goes and splats him in the head. I'm like, okay, didn't you want to interrogate him?
22 damage.
Solid.
Yeah, it's got 18 endurance, so it's down. Properly dead.
Anyone got any herbs?
What are the rules around shadow?
That's probably a miss. Is it a misdeed?
I think so. A disarmed.
Yeah.
If it wasn't disarmed,
put it down.
That's like stabbing someone in the back as they're climbing over a fence.
I wasn't going to bring that parallel out because it felt like I was throwing in an axe, but I think it is. And I think now you chose to swing at him, knowing that he'd just been disarmed. So I think it probably that's what I'm thinking. It is.
I think that's fair. So there are there are 4 possibilities for shadow points. So the first is experiencing distressing events. That's different to causing distressing events. There is crossing or dwelling in an area tainted by the shadow. There is committing despicable or dishonorable deeds, regardless of the end they sought to achieve.
Yeah.
And that is a misdeed. And the fourth one, just for fun, is taking possession of a cursed or tainted item.
So I'm going to do that in a minute when I pick up his sword.
Yes, you will, yeah.
So
His lore of secrets.
or Torg is in the aftermath, definitely aware that he's committed a devastating, despicable deed here, no matter what Longo's intent was.
Yes. Okay. So looking at the shadow points, then, I mean, 5 points is murder. I mean, if this was a court of law, just putting it out there, they would accept some form of mitigation, I'm sure.
Drop it down to manslaughter. You know?
It's not. It's murder in the second, isn't it? It's like it's kind of. It wasn't pre-planned. It was in the passion of the moment.
Well,
Yeah, so
let's look at that.
involuntary
Let's look at that. So you
manslaughter.
went to the place carrying weapons with the intent to do harm. I think actually it's first degree. I think I can establish motive.
Actually, yeah. No, we were just LARPing.
Okay, Joe. I mean, this is clearly a discussion point here, isn't it? So I'm thinking somewhere around 2 points, given that you know that he was an orc fancier. He was clearly leading these bandits. He clearly had some shadow magic or what have you. So I don't think it is 5 points torment and torture murder. I think I'm thinking more towards 2.
Okay,
seems fair.
This is a step beyond anything Torg's done before. But there's something personal in it for Torg. It's the first time he's ever met a hobbit. He was quite taken with Clovis when he first met him. He wanted to get to know him a bit better. He started to see through everything that's happened in this adventure. Possibly there is a way that the free people can come together and work together. And what he sees as Clovis's betrayal in that he's really Longo has eroded some of that. So I'd say 2 is generous. I'd say 3 would be fair, really, because
it is the midpoint, I suppose, isn't it?
It's fairly brutal. Yeah, I guess I think 2 is being ever so slightly lenient.
Okay, 3 points.
That's one of those examples of where someone like talks themselves into like a worse. Like, keep going. All right, then I will. 4 points.
So then, Sonny, do you know why I stopped you? I jumped to red light. I was speeding. I'm high on cocaine, and the body of my dead wife is in the boot. Yes.
I think it's fair. I think that's fair.
Think that's fair.
No, 3 points.
Also, there is an upgrade for dwarves that capitalizes on shadow points.
Oh, so it's an advantage then. Get as many as you can.
But I like the weight of 3.
Do we become a Durgar if we get enough shadow points?
Okay, so
3 shadow points, right?
Oh yeah, shit. Was there still an orc going on?
There's still a fucking orc there.
Nah, forget
With, like,
him. He's fine.
More force than anybody had seen Torg bring to bear, and with under his breath the passionate shout of Khazad, Father. Completely cleaves Longo Clovis's cute, childlike, slightly bulbous nose, cheeky little eyes.
Torg, Halfling Slayer. You've got a title.
It's Clovis, Cloven.
It's dead, is what it is now. And
Like, dude.
Loftar, let's have at that orc.
Yes, that's it. Let's do it.
Let's have an honourable kill.
It's just that one orc. Let's see if I can do it before my fellow dwarves. The answer is, well, it's 16. Hang on, 16.
Hits.
Yeah, 16. So 8.
Orc hatred.
Oh, that would be 11. Just
Okay.
fury-driven attack on the orc.
Like the orc is driven back, kind of like really put off, but not dead. It is going to have a go with its bent sword at you, Movtar.
Excellent.
13. And what's your parry?
Very low at 4.
Okay, it smashes into you, doing 4 damage.
Okay.
Boom. Okay, stances.
Technically, I don't know if I'm. It's.
Torg is.
I'm probably
Torg,
still a bit in shock.
Yeah, Torg is sitting on the floor, looking at the mess he's left.
I'm stood there looking at the shiny black scabbard case.
Okay, well you grab it. Yeah, you grab it.
Yeah. Because I'm fascinated by it. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It clearly had some effect. I want to research that with because I do have a shadow weakness for the lore of secrets. So I think that it would be something I'd want to find out more about. So I will pick that up.
Okay. Okay, you grab that. It is fine. Black leather. Black steel, light and strong. Got many fiery stones down the sheath.
Ooh.
Ornate silver kind of like tip at one end and a silver kind of bracket at the other. Lovely kind of leather harness that allows you to strap it to its wrist. Longo's blood splattered all over it. The blood is starting to pool down on the head, and almost in slow motion, is rolling along the stone floor together at the feet of Torg. The heart still blood. There's childlike hands still forevermore. And your stance, Loftar, sorry.
Just keep it open. Keep it
Okay,
casual.
cool, good stuff. Yeah, okay. Loftar, your
No,
action.
sorry, forward. Yeah, sorry, I was forward.
Yeah,
wasn't I?
Okay, yeah, your action. Kudrim
Got
races
into
in. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Yeah. It's still the same orc, isn't it?
No, it's a whole. It's just yes, it's the same orc. Sorry.
I just want to mention I am weary at this point now.
Oh, okay, that's worth knowing.
Oh well, not anymore. I've got a 17 extraordinary success.
So weary doesn't weary mean that anything
we'd have
that's a 1
recovered,
to
wouldn't we?
3 doesn't count.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's just take 1 off that. That's 16
Okay,
extraordinary
great,
success.
Okay, great. So, how do you want to
The
kill
damage
orc?
is just a Longo style. I guess that's an appropriate name.
Doing a Torg, burying in mattock in its head.
The The only problem here is that the orc's not disarmed.
God.
It's actually got its weapon. Is in fact an orc, and and was engaged in combat.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, other than the fact that you put in a mattock through its head.
Yeah,
Isn't a
pretty
wizard.
much.
Isn't an evil wizard.
Clearly, still is our enemy, though.
Yeah. That's. I just want to park
He's
that
trying to
mattock
kill us.
in that space, so that mattock can have a safe space in the middle of his
Yeah.
You're protecting its mattock inside your mattock inside its head.
between his ears. Yes, his or its ears.
There.
Okay.
There he is. Yeah, damage is 20. Oh, 22. So that's.
So it is doing a longo.
Congo style, man. Yeah.
Whenever you do 22 damage to anything.
Mwah.
So you got. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Good stuff, gents. Good stuff. Longo had stolen the.
Are you all right, Torg?
Go on. Carry on the RP.
Are you all right, Torg? You're looking a bit in shock. All right, like he tried to kill you. He clearly tried some mind crap on you. He almost made you turn against a dwarf. So don't feel too bad just because he looks like a little kid.
We must tell the city guard. I must confess to them.
What, that we killed a bandit leader long ago? Yeah, well done. They'll be pleased.
We must take his body to the city guard. Loftar, here, help me lift him.
Loftar, don't help him lift him. He's clearly losing his mind.
Should we just search if there's anything else or anyone else?
Let's...
Yeah, let's loot the building and yeah.
No, I just want to have
Talk's completely broken. Yeah.
just want to have a look if there's any secret passages or any other orcs just like lurking anywhere.
Are not, but as you start to kind of like move Longo's body, bits of his skull start to stick into the ground. His brain, where it was mashed. So you flip him over, his eyes, piercing, lovely blue eyes, the colour of the summer sky, look up at you. They're the same eyes that did give the nod to the orc. But that's not the memory that you have in the night. That fades a little bit. And I don't know how Torg's arrogance is going to justify, if indeed it will seek to justify that act. But you find the silver needle.
He tried to kill us.
The silver needle was stolen here, but there is no other secret entrances, what have you. The city guard have been roused and do investigate. They struggle to believe the Hobbit was a leader. Does Torg confess to the murder of Longo?
Truthful. Yeah, he's going to say everything. His way is not to cover up and hide and sneak. He's going to be honest. He will carry Longo's body to the city guard on his own if he has to.
Do we find the needle?
You do find the needle.
And then, so I'm going to take the needle and walk up to Torg and go, this person was not only responsible for trying to kill us and sending us into that thing with those orcs, but he tried and stole and was prepared to murder an old woman. An old woman who does nothing but create beautiful items and craft and bring happiness to people. And I don't know what his purpose was with wanting this, but you should feel no shame over ending the life of someone who commit such acts. and I put the needle in his hand and say, "Put the body down and return this to its owner, and then see how you feel."
So this may be the key to it all. Perhaps if we can prove that Clovis or Longo stole this from Kelda, then they might believe that ending his life was not such a shameful act after all.
Pretty on the outside doesn't mean pretty on the inside.
I've never trusted the little buggers, Kudrum says. Nah, never did. Didn't fancy Bilbo. Thought there was something shaky about them all. Burglars.
Well, he was a burglar, wasn't he?
Burglars.
Famous burglar.
Burglars.
And also, so
Go on.
can we get Gudrun, is it to kind of like, you were in the room, you saw, like, you were part of this battle, we'll go talk to the Watch together. Or if the Watch are going to turn up, we'll sort
Yeah,
them
so
out.
the Watch kind of do turn up. There's been enough of a disturbance, a pitched battle, that they are more concerned about enemies infiltrating Dale than anything else.
We've got a nice like row of bandit bodies clearly displaying their green handkerchiefs, and an orc body, and then a hobbit body.
Yeah. So the night passes in this kind of like movement and conversations and retelling the tale and retelling the tale and retelling the tale. In the end, the kind of the Watch sergeant is going to have to pass it up the chain. He's taken statements as far as he can see. There was clearly an armed force here. There's clearly an orc here, which is the key thing that everybody's worried about. There's a degree of confusion as to Longo's role in this. But Kudrum just say, yep, definitely found him in the same room as the orc, was definitely commanding the orc. Kudrum's clearly got a little bit of license. He doesn't feel too bad about lying to the guards, particularly. Certainly not when it helps his friends, brothers in arms, out. Kudrum does not have a massive standing in Dale, though. But it's almost kind of like you've managed to solve a problem that the Watch didn't know that they had, and therefore there's a little bit of a, okay, great, we got the orc killed. And because the act of going and seeing Kelda has spread a little bit. She's come back to the marketplace and such like, and she's very keen to see it was you three. And that is probably what stands you in the greatest dread. When a handful of days later you are presented to the magistrate for discussion, and it's all kind of like wrapped up in a little bit of a okay, let the record show. The city thanks you for tracking down the orc and bringing it to a close. Nobody really answers to satisfaction whether Longo is a bandit lord or not. He's got no family here. There's nobody coming after with a blood feud or anything like that. So it's kind of best left, to be perfectly honest. Probably the hardest situation for Torg is in the Golden Sheaf, when he glances across the veteran dwarf friend of Clovis, drinking to himself, and whether he admits what happened there or not, I think is possibly a topic for another time. Okay, what do you want to do with the needle?
Oh,
I've given it you. So yeah.
Yeah. No, let's take it to Kelda.
Oh,
No, I just want you to take it.
Come on in for a cup of tea. Come on in, love. Put your feet up.
Thank you, Kelda. I would actually. I'd welcome a cup of your fine tea.
Oh, it's just this now boiled.
Are you well? Is your fire burning?
Yeah,
How's your chin? It was.
her hands are shaking a little bit, but she's got some cross stitch, and I have to be patient now. I can't quite do what I used to do. But I'm happy.
Can I?
I'm happy, Torg.
Is she? Is
you
she?
you in your civvies?
I am. Yes, I
I
do
heard
not
you and the
wish.
city guard found an orc in Broken Stands. I'm not at all surprised. They're practically half orc down there already.
There was an orc, and Loftar made there not be an orc anymore.
Oh, is it? I hear it's pretty good at that, is Loftar.
Yeah, he. Are you still stitching, Kelda?
Yeah, I do. I do it just for the joy now. I'm slow, but steady, and well, I'm not sure that anybody's going to buy what I make, so I mostly do it for myself. And you can see she's got like a little pattern that she's doing, and there are two swans down by the side of a raft of Escaroth, necks entwined.
Kelda, do you remember you told me the tale of your true love, the man of the East,
I do.
who lived in Lake Town?
Yes.
And it made me think differently of the free people. And I asked you if you would create a tapestry that showed the free people together, united.
Yes, I remember.
Have you given thought to that project, Kelda?
I have. And she kind of like stands up. Would you like a biscuit, dear? They're in the tin. They're in the tin over there.
I'll go to the biscuit tin.
I like the ginger ones myself.
I'll get the step ladder out and reach up for the biscuit tin.
That's basically that. She kind of goes and she kind of pulls, and it's not the greatest work. If we're going to be honest, about it, and it's possibly kind of like maybe 6 inches square, and
yeah,
and here we have it. I think it's my best work. It's all birds.
It's wondrous, Kelda.
There's
all birds.
Yeah, so there's a mountain of Erebor, and kind of swooping forward from the mountain. There's a raven, and then there's a really graceful kind of set of swans kind of coming out from the edge of the forested background over there. And then there are sparrows and thrushes kind of gathered towards the front, and then there's some swallows. So look, the ravens are the dwarves coming from the mountain.
I understood that immediately, Kelda.
And
the ravens.
And the swans are the beauty of the elves. And here we've got all the humans, the race of men, all these sparrows and these thrushes. The energy, but no grace. And a sparrow comes and it goes. But the others, the ravens and the swans, they're long, and the ravens bring the industriousness, and the swans teach us a little bit about the beauty. But don't forget what's underneath the surface. I think the elves have worked hard on things that we just can't see. And the swallows, they head to better places and keep themselves in better places. And I just wish that we could all be the swallows, and we could always just be in the warmth wherever the warmth is. And you'll see that they're all flying towards where the light comes from. None of these birds are bothered about a swan taking their food or a raven landing in their nest. They just know to exist together. They just know that there's food enough for them all, and that one sparrow's happiness doesn't take away from a swan's happiness, so why bother about it? So this is my view of the free people. And you can see just down in the corner there, those two cranes. That's me and my love. Together forever. So
It's beautiful, Kelvin. It's beautiful.
So there you go. There you go, Lovey.
Thank you. With all my heart, Kelda. I will treasure it. I believe I will sew it inside of my cloak to keep it away from the weather and somewhere where I can view it often and alone. And then Torg rises, puts the biscuit tin back in the small kitchen. And as Kelda is seated, possibly she's away thinking about her pastimes, I locate the little craft box. Sneak the needle into the craft box. And then I'm going to leave.
And in closing the door, you find some measure of redemption. Returning that which was taken. So let's go into fellowship phase.
Cool.
Okay. At midnight, exactly the time that you should start to do a fellowship phase, I find.
Yeah.
Well, we've already worked out the undertaking, so it should be fairly straightforward. It's just spending points, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Good session, guys.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Good session.
All good stuff, yeah.
I like Levdar's simplicity. His form follows function quite closely. Terence Conran would be very, very proud of the design.
XP, Paul.
Yes. Right. Okay. Cool. So, what's the standard that you would normally get? One for rocking up, one for
One for meeting your objectives.
Yeah. Okay. So you met your objectives. You attended. So let's have an additional kind of one for everybody staying true to the material and true to the character. I thought that was pretty strong throughout. I think you're starting to develop your own characters and dynamic, which I think is really cool. I think I'd like to propose that that Tor gets an additional one for a couple of reasons. I think firstly for working through the charmed situation, because a lot of players really struggle with a charm that works against their purpose. I thought you played that out pretty well, and then just the whole smacking him and going so well was just such a nice kind of unexpected and interesting twist to the tale that just kind of like emerged from that action. So that's what I would propose if everybody's comfortable with that. Does anybody disagree?
That looks furious.
It does, doesn't it? He is not happy.
Matt is not happy about
Wow.
that.
Have we just lost Matt? But
I'm assuming so.
I'm screenshotting that for future reference.
That's really, really intense.
It's like one of those statues, isn't he, in like Hyde Park? I'm going to assume we've lost Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that's
So
XP.
that's you get 1 bonus XP for every 2 sessions of the adventure as well, Paul.
Yes, so that would be a bonus one, which should have got last session, I guess, shouldn't you?
Well, it's awarded in the fellowship phase, so it's 1 XP for. Well, it is awarded at the end of the adventuring phase. It's 1 XP for every 2 sessions the adventuring
so you get
phase.
1 XP then.
Yep, and then 1 for being thematic or being in character or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's going to be 4 for Torg.
Alaric said, sorry, his phone just
No, it's
died.
5 for Torg.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's an extra 1 in there as well.
Yeah, one for turning up, 1 for doing meeting our objectives, 1 for staying true to character, 1 for it being more than one the 2 session thing. So me and Matt get 4, and then you get your additional 1 for the roleplay.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed that because my phone decided to die.
Okay, so you get
It was
4
hilarious.
experience points.
Okay.
Can everybody else see Matt?
You came in.
Just me. You can't.
Yeah, no, we can see Matt. Paul was explaining why Joe got an extra experience point, and you froze with the maddest face on you, and you looked so angry about it. It was so funny.
Yeah, no, because I was like, what the hell? What the hell's happening? Because it just it all sort of drops, and Paul was like midpoint, and I was like, what? And then I realized my phone went blank, as in black, and I was like, oh right, okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So we get 4 points.
So for fellowship phase, then. Okay.
So we choose a destination.
That's correct. Yeah.
Dale.
I'm guessing we're going to Dale because we want to open Dale.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 And then standing upkeep and holding upkeep if relevant.
We ain't got none of them yet, have we?
No. And then we spend our experience points.
Yep.
And then advancement points.
Yep.
I've done mine, if it helps for this.
Yeah, do you want to go through what you did?
Yeah, cool. So it's not very complicated, really. I spent 6 advantage points. That's the word. Spent six advantage points to increase my athletics to 2.
XP, Matt.
Oh, XP first. Okay, so I had 6 experience points, and I spent those 6 experience points to gain a cultural virtue by increasing my wisdom up to 3. And I have picked Sworn Allegiance. So up until the Lungo fiasco, or the Lungo Gate as it shall be known going forward, I was really, inspired by Torg. His, leadership. It's quite nice because he got me working with my good old pal Coldrum and all that kind of stuff. So I felt Sworn Allegiance is very appropriate. I'll give a brief sort of summary of what that means. So Sworn Allegiance is if my fellowship focus, which is Torg, isn't wounded, poisoned, or miserable, or doesn't kill a hobbit. Sorry, no, that scratched the last bit. It's just because you don't get the miserable bit. Sorry. So I recovered 2 points of hope instead of 1 at the end of the session, but this is a kicker for the whole team. I also increased the company's fellowship rating by 1, so we all every session we get 1 extra fellowship point, which I felt was useful.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we will have 4 then going forward. We'll have 4 fellowship points every session, which is
nice. That's really good.
Ironically, it's almost like you've got a hobbit in the party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
We've got a bit of
Could
him
have.
on the end of a mattock.
yeah, we could have it.
There is a bit left. Yeah. You got
Uh,
to keep a souvenir, haven't you?
Absolutely. So that's my experience points spent, and then
My XP is dead simple because I'm just going to increase Mattock to 3 for a cost of 6 XP. That leaves me with 3 left over.
Are we allowed to do 2 things at once with XP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could, because I've got 12, because I didn't spend any of the original stuff. So I've got my full 12 that we've earned so far. I'm gonna put my wisdom to 3 and take a second spell as a virtue. And I'm going to bump my sword to 3 as well for 6. So that spends me up completely. So it's 6 for both of them. I think I'm going to take the protection outdoors one, where basically, like if we're out in the field, I can set up a. Let me read the.
I like an alarm spell.
It's so spell of prohibition and exclusion. The runic inscription was usually placed on gates and doors to protect an area from unwanted visitors. You may carve these signs on a rock or on the bark of a tree within the perimeter of your camp, and their power will wake you at the first sign of danger. Carve the runes and go to sleep. You will immediately waken if threatening presence approaches.
Yeah, okay.
So we no longer need to stand a watch if we camp anywhere, type thing.
Makes sense.
very useful.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all the experience. So advancement points. So Matt, you're saying athletics to 2?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I. Because I wasn't counting the ones I've got today. So, in to make it just simple, I will put them in my savings account, and I spend 6 advancement points to get athletics up to 2 because it's my favorite, so it's cheaper.
Okay. Joe.
So I earned 11 in that adventure, and I had 3 left over from our initial bump, so 14 in total. I want to get a favored skill to 3, which is think, inspire, and then that costs 9. That leaves me with 5, which I'll probably just carry over.
Okay, cool. And Ben?
Yeah, I got 7 during that adventure, and I had 4 left over. So I've now got 11 because to take my law to 4, which is the next thing I want to do, I need 12. So I can't quite afford to do it yet.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Okay. Undertaking, which I think you want to open Dale up, don't you?
We do.
Yes, please.
Okay.
As a sanctuary, yeah. I think it'd be good to have a sanctuary.
Yeah, I agree.
Sanctuaries are good for healing shadow points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I get any ill effect for taking the sword? Or will that be when I look into it later?
Yeah, it'll be when you kind of like look into it, I think, if I'm honest.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so everybody's going to take open the new sanctuary in Dale, build upon the relationships that you've established, kind of like Old Kelder and that friendship and that relationship there kind of opens up lots of doors for you in the people of Dale. Certainly that kind of like craftsman tier, a lot of respect for what you did with regards to that. Word passes through various rumours about how you thwarted some orcish work in Brokenstone, which unfortunately creates a really problem for the denizens of Brokenstone, who are now all in the minds of everybody else, basically. A
little bit orcish.
Well, they're all kind of like down with Sauron in Mordor, pretty much, as far as anybody else is concerned. They're about to cross the Skiliath and take the gaze of Minas Tirith. So don't buy bread from us. But yeah, so you kind of you complete that undertaking. Probably still base yourself in the Golden Sheaf as a base.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah, sounds like a good pub.
Torg is keen to kind of reconnect with his some of his established roots in Dale, so he spends a bit of time with Gimme back in back at the craft quarter, and also the fact that he's improving his inspire skill comes from seeking one's own inspiration. So he kind of seeks solitude in doing that, really.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he wanders the market and he visits Kelber frequently.
Yeah.
Spends some time with just.
What are the visits with Kelder? You kind of like in the biscuit tin. Torg's put on a bit of timber. He possibly shouldn't visit, Kelder quite so much. It turns out she is actually a bit of a feeder. I gave it away. Torg. The needle. Couple of reasons.
Gave it away.
Really. Couple of reasons. I know it had come from Erebor and then on to me, but it turns out that there was an owner well before I had it. But that wasn't the main reason. I think we in the race of men, we have to learn so much in the time that's given to us. And sometimes you learn things too late in life. I think I'd learned that the magic of my tapestries isn't really in the quality of them. It's just in the joy of them being worn and the act of giving them. I've stopped selling the tapestries, as you know, but people are still coming to get them. They're still commissioning the work, and I'm still seeing the delight on the faces of the children and the others that get them. And I think it's my work now that they're coming to see. And at this stage of my life, I quite like the ego kick, if I'm honest. I quite like to feel I've done something. And, well, when the Elven King comes along and says the Silver Needle once belonged to Celebrian, daughter of Celeborn and Galadriel, and wife to Elrond, and Celebrian used it almost 3,000 years ago to embroider the woven cloth she gave to Elrond on their wedding day. Well, you kind of really don't feel like you've got a claim to it, do you? Well, what are the ginger ones? Thank you, dearie. Thank you. So, so now it hangs above the high table of the Great Hall of Rivendell. And well, they didn't just take the needle; they took a couple of tapestries too. So I think that's not bad for an old lady who dreams of the muscles of a younger man. So I think I appreciated what you did, and I think at the time it really helped me turn a corner. But well, it's been undone now, and I'm all me. It's all me. And I think that's where we're going to finish the session. So we'll have it there.
There's one last thing from Torg. The things are around us, and things are the distractions in life that we fixate on. But things come and go. But lives live on, Kelder, and yours will live on. And that decision to give it away was yours to make, not a decision to be taken from you. I think you've done a noble thing.
Oh, well, I thank you, Torg. I appreciate that. Now, I've also just embroidered this thrush for your city guard uniform. Okay, so there you go. Right, that is
Not
definitely where
another
we're calling the
bloody
session at midnight. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this. When are we going to play again? I think we've got a date, haven't we? The 26th?
I think so. That's right, yeah.
Are we still good for the 26th?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Should be good.
Excellent. And we'll pick up in another adventuring phase after this fellowship phase. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching.
Nice.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
There. Oh, Matt's
See ya.
just 2 grey squares.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.